What's up, guys? It's your boy TrueX7 here, and today I'm coming at you with a reaction video to 6 true Taco Bell horror stories. Now, we're only going to listen to maybe 2 or 3 of these. Of course, the link to the original video will be down below in the description if you want to go check the video out. Also, check out Darkness Prevails. Dude makes some great videos like this one, so go check out his channel and show him some love. So, without further ado, let's get into it. 6 true Taco Bell horror stories. Let's go. Shout out to Arizona.
Number 1. The Creeper at the Drive-Thru. Submitted by May. I was 16 when I worked at Taco Bell. It was right next to my high school, an easy job. And it was fun because my friends would always come by to hang out whenever it wasn't busy. I think of myself as an attractive girl. Tall, with nice curves, green eyes, and dark red hair. I was used to guys hitting on me, and I just tried to brush it off. I had a boyfriend at the time, and in my relationships, I was always loyal. I've had a few weirdos hit on me in my time. Like one time, a guy asked me what tasted the best, and I said it's all pretty good, only for him to ask what I tasted like in response.
Nope.
I was disgusted.
Punch him in
But
the
I'm
face.
tough, and ever since I was a kid, I've practiced martial arts. I was even in juvie for a few months due to some drug use. I had been suspended from school several times for starting fights. It was nothing I was proud of, but I knew I could hold my own. So stuff like that always just made me laugh. That is until my 6th month working in Taco Hell. Legally, if you're under
It's funny as fuck because me and my friends actually call Taco Bell Taco Hell.
the age of 18, they can't work you after 10 p.m. and more than 20 hours a week. My manager, who I later found out got fired for skimming funds, was a jerk and did not follow these rules. She made me work on days I requested off, even on my own birthday. I even had to work overtime, which often interfered with my school. One night, it was cold outside and pouring rain, so there wasn't a lot of business. My manager had me working until midnight that night, a Thursday. It was about 10 o'clock, and it was just me and a few cooks. I was working the drive-thru because the lobby was already closed. We were goofing off because, like I said, it wasn't really busy. One of the cooks made me a burrito because it was just that slow. I was eating in the manager's office with my headset off as I watched the cameras. I glanced away for one moment because one of the cooks, my best friend, was dancing around to the awful music the other cook was playing. Then I looked back to the cameras and I nearly fell out of my seat. There was a man standing in the drive-thru. He's literally just staring at the screen that informs you of your order. I laughed it off and set my burrito down. I put my headset back on. Since the lobby was closed, I humored the guy and decided to let him order. "Hey there, welcome to Taco Bell. How may I take your order?"
You're fucking up.
I put on my customer voice. If you work in fast food or even retail, you know what I mean. This guy, instead of answering, flipped out and he kicked the screen. I jumped up and my eyes went wide. I spoke again, serious now. "Please don't do that, sir, or I'll have to ask you to leave." And he just laughs. Chills run down my spine as he walks toward the drive-thru window
Fuck.
that I was dumb enough to leave unlocked. I run over just as he reaches it and slides it open. I keep my distance as he gives me this nerve-wracking grin. He's tall, slender, and pale, and looks and smells like he's allergic to showering.
Oh, God.
His teeth are yellow, and I was pretty sure the dude was high on something, due to the distant look in his eyes. "Aren't you a pretty thing? I just want to slip my hand down your pants." He practically growled as he tried climbing through the window. With his torso inside, he grabbed my shoulder firmly, and then he wrapped his arm around my neck before I could slip away. It didn't take long for the cooks to see what was going on, and they ran over to me, but they were both small women. One of them pulled out her cell phone and called 911.
You're working in a fast food joint. Alright, I get it. Your manager will get probably pretty pissed, but you're a cook. Stab him repeatedly in the shoulder, in the face. Fuck him. Fuck him up. That's fucked.
While the other grabbed a broom and began to beat him with it. Me,
A broom.
I was oddly calm. I was just trying to push the guy away, and then the freak tries to touch me in places. In these situations, after training in martial arts, You would hope to fight rationally, to remember all the training you had. But I didn't. I freaked out. I bit down on this guy's arm, and hard enough to draw blood.
No!
I can tell the guy is in pain now. Looking back, I think I was the crazy one here. The police arrived, but the guy had run off. Luckily for me, he left a blood trail. The police used some of it as DNA evidence in case he was already in the system. And then they took our reports. I gave the very best description I could. But from what I've heard, they never caught the guy. I quit working there the following day. After a week, I was put in therapy for the incident. And honestly, I had nightmares after that. It drove a wedge between my boyfriend at the time and I, and eventually we split up. This happened 7 years ago. I graduated high school the following year, 17 by then, and I went to college and became a mortician. I got married 3 years ago, and oddly enough, it was to one of the people that had worked at Taco Bell with me. He wasn't there on the night all that happened, but had actually come in to cover for me the rest of that night. He and I have 2 kids now, and needless to say, we won't be letting them work at Taco Bell.
2 things. 1, you shouldn't have bit him. That's disgusting. You said he didn't smell great. You don't know what people are carrying. Punch him in the throat, kick him in the dick, grab a fucking grill fork and just stab his ass. Fuck him. And 2, that is a pretty sweet love story. Moving on.
Number 2. Taco Bell Weirdness. Submitted by Renee. My sister and I worked for Taco Bell. I was there a little longer than her, but together we wasted about 9.5 years there. But during that time, we saw quite a few things. For example, one night before my sister began to work, there was a drunk and bloody fight that broke out in the drive-thru. And one time, someone threw a bunch of burritos back across the counter.
You wanna talk shit? Get out the fuck door, bitch! I want my nacho taco, motherfucker!
But there was one night that really freaked all 3 of us out. It was me, my sister, and my manager. We were closers, and it was a long, busy night. It was just shortly after we closed. We decided to sit down and eat because we have not had anything to eat for our 10-hour shift. So we're sitting there, and this guy comes up out of nowhere, pounding on the door, wanting to come in. Apparently, he was really hungry. My manager went to the door to talk to him to see what he wanted. He replied, "I want to order food. Can I come in?"
Nope.
My manager told him that I'm sorry, we're closed, but he still stuck around for a while. It was really odd and creepy, because he stayed by the door even still, and still kept asking to come in.
Call the cops.
We got back to closing
Get a
up,
knife.
and he's still there, walking around the front door.
Fuck no.
Occasionally, he'll go out to the parking lot just to come back. A few moments after I had walked back to the lobby to clean up, I checked to see if he was there, and he was gone,
No,
like
he ain't.
completely gone. I looked all around the store and nothing. My manager decided to get the keys and open up the roof door. We got up there looking around the whole area, not wanting any surprises coming out at us when we left. Who knows what this guy really wanted? In the area where our Taco Bell is located, there is a mall and a few other restaurants. There's a bridge crossing over a nearby canyon. I'd seen him walk in the direction of the bridge at one point before he had wandered back to the doors. We checked the area over and over, but there was nothing. This guy didn't have enough time to get far enough away from us for us not to see him, or at least some movement.
Exactly.
It was really creepy, and it freaked out my manager more than me and my sister. Where was the guy? Even as we were finishing up our work and getting ready to head out, we continued to look for the guy. But we didn't see him again that night, despite each and every one of us keeping a close eye out on this guy because we thought he might jump out at us once we left. He was literally nowhere to be seen, and I can't even begin to say how creepy it was walking out to my car. I thought he'd be hiding somewhere, waiting for me. But that's only one of the creepy things that happened there. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but this happened just after I started working there. It was probably close to 12 years ago now. There was a base jumper that came from Georgia. He was really excited to go jump off our bridge. He had just gotten off the bus. He walked from the bus stop to the Taco Bell. He decided...
If your friends jumped off a bridge, would you? This guy would.
Decided he couldn't wait until morning, so he had come through Taco Bell before heading out to the bridge. I took his order and handed him his food. He jumped alone that day, and in the dark, something happened with his parachute, and he landed wrong. He was stuck there all night and ended up dying of pneumonia. When his girlfriend called him in the morning and he didn't answer, she knew something was wrong and she called the police. And soon enough, they found his body. I was the last person to see him alive, the last person he talked to.
Oh no.
When I found out about this, it was really upsetting. If I had known what was going to happen, what he was going to do, I would have tried to stop him. But can you imagine your last words being spoken to the person handing you food at Taco Bell?
That's fucked.
Number 3. Taco Bell Ghost Story. Submitted.
Let me explain something to you people. Alright. I've lived in a haunted house. I have suspicions that this house that I currently live in are haunted. I have a couple of friends that believe the same thing. Ghost stories fuck me up. I'm gonna listen to this. For you guys, I don't want to do this. I do not want to do this. I am fucking myself over right now.
By Emily B.
Shout out to Arizona.
This is a true story from the famous Taco Hell. The story took place in the South while I was 12. I'm 18 now, and ever since then I've steered clear of Taco Bells. Let me start off with some background about myself. I was never a girly girl and had no friends. I was homeschooled. My mother and her mother had always had a strong sense for the paranormal, and being my mom's daughter, I've always wondered if I had the same sense. This is very important for my experience. I was 12 and with my stepfather, and we were coming back from visiting family. We decided to get a snack at Taco Bell. We went inside and the place was really busy, so I decided to go sit at an empty table while I waited. I glanced back at my father who was in line, then back at the table. I was startled because a boy, I think my age, was now sitting across from me. I never saw him sit down there, he was just there. But I didn't think much of it. At the time, I just thought that he did the same thing as me, just waiting on his family. Maybe he just wanted a break to get off his legs. About a minute later, I was bored, so I struck up a conversation. "Hi, how are you today?" He looked over at me and smiled. "I'm fine, just waiting." I returned with a grin. We started talking casually. The whole time it felt kind of weird, because people were looking at us frequently with strange looks. I ignored it though and continued to talk.
Nope.
About 8 minutes later, my dad waited by the door for me to leave, and I stood up, saying goodbye to the boy. I looked back once more and he was gone. While I was getting into my dad's truck, I saw the boy waving from the Taco Bell window, and I waved back at him. My father drove away, and I was watching the building go by, when I saw a memorial with the picture of the boy's face on it, dated 3 years back.
Fuck no.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing, so I quickly grabbed my phone, and using my location in the search engine, I eventually found a story from 3 years back. In summary, it read, a young boy was left by his parents in a Taco Bell, and while he was waiting, after deciding to go outside, he was hit by a speeding car. A picture was
If you're gonna have fucking kids, watch them. That's some fucking bullshit. Man, that's just fucking creepy. Fuck the parents that let the kid die. Alright, that's fucked. This is just fucked.
attached, and it was the same boy, the same face from the memorial, the same face from the boy that sat across from me. I felt sick. My dad had to pull over as I threw up. We headed home in silence, and the whole time I was in a daze, not saying a word. To this day, I still remember vividly what that boy's face looked like, and ever since then I've thought, what a terrible place for a spirit to be trapped in.
That's fucked. I hope that little boy is now at peace. That's fucked. The parents are to blame for that entirely. And yeah, I'm freaked the fuck out now because I don't like ghost bullshit. But I had 3 or 4 of my friends recommend me watch this. And I'm done. This is all I can take. I've heard too much. I'm gonna have fucking nightmares. People think this is fucking funny. But I swear to God, I don't do creepy bullshit. I like creepy games, but I don't like creepy true stories. Fuck that. So that's going to wrap up this reaction video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to drop a like. Subscribe to become part of the True Nerd Nation. Go check out Darkness Prevails. He makes some good videos. I've watched them before, just in my spare time. Just haven't reacted to them. But go check out his channel. Subscribe to him. Show him some love. So, yeah, guys, it's going to wrap things up for today, though. Like I said, if you enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe to become part of the True Nerd Nation, and until the next video or live stream, peace, love, and zombie slaying to all of you guys, wonderful, wonderful True Nerd Nation. I love you guys, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Later, guys.